$32 billion for Wiz. Alphabet is officially playing Monopoly in cybersecurity.
Oh, please. They're terrified of Microsoft. It's a defensive panic buy.
A $32 billion panic buy? That's pure aggression.
You want aggression? Pernod-Ricard and Brown-Forman are attempting a merger of equals. French cognac meets Tennessee whiskey.
The corporate retreats will be legendary, assuming the antitrust lawyers don't drink the inventory first.
We've got Alphabet's cyber crown jewel, a spirits mega merger, and Jack Nicklaus buying his own name back. The rundown.
I just want to know who at Danone looked at a bottle of Huel and said, yes, this beige sludge is exactly what our yogurt portfolio needs for $1 billion, no less.
It's literally optimized nutrition for software engineers who forget to chew. But honestly, $1 billion is cheap. Danone gets instant credibility with the Silicon Valley fasting crowd.
Credibility and probably a lifetime supply of vanilla meal replacements.
Speaking of tech ecosystems, Ecolab dropping $4.75 billion on CoolIT Systems is the sleeper hit of the week.
Ecolab, the cleaning chemical guys, why are they buying a liquid cooling company?
Because AI data centers are literally melting, Nate. CoolIT does direct liquid cooling for servers. Ecolab realizes water management in data centers is the next gold rush. The multiple is aggressive if you look at the footnotes, but they're buying pure AI infrastructure growth.
See, that's the kind of strategic pivot I love. Though my banker brain hurts trying to model a sanitation company doing thermal dynamics, I'd much rather model insurance. Zurich just wrote a $10.8 billion check for Beazly.
Classic scale play. But look at the macro data behind all this. Outbound US M&A just skyrocketed 155% month over month, $66 billion in February alone.
The pipelines are stuffed. Analysts are projecting this massive 2026 supercycle across AI infrastructure and healthcare.
Oh, come on. I read that note. You can't just extrapolate one hot February and declare a multi-year supercycle. That's just bankers trying to speak fees into existence.
Hey, I feel attacked, but deal sizes are objectively getting bigger. Even Jack Nicklaus is getting in on the action.
Wait, really? The golfer?
The Golden Bear himself. He just partnered with TWG Global to buy back the Nicklaus companies. He founded it 50 years ago and finally took it back. Corporate redemption at its finest.
I love a good revenge buyout.
It's the ultimate flex, almost as big a flex as dropping $32 billion on a single cybersecurity asset.
Right? Alphabet just finalized the Wiz deal, and if you thought the Ecolab multiple was aggressive, wait until we pass the structure on this one. Plus, we need to talk about what's happening in the spirits aisle.
Pour a glass, Pernod Ricard and Brown-Forman are talking merger of equals, and we're breaking down the math right after this. The big one. $32 billion. I just have to say it out loud so it registers in my brain. $32 billion for Wiz.
The largest pure-play cybersecurity acquisition on record. I spent the entire morning digging through the footnotes on this one, and the multiple they paid is staggering even for enterprise software.
It is classic Alphabet. They look at Microsoft's security revenue, they look at AWS, and they panic buy the absolute most expensive house on the block. Wiz is a great company, but $32 billion? That is a banker's dream fee right there.
See, I do not think this is a panic buy at all. If you look at the architecture of Google Cloud, they have been patching holes with smaller acquisitions for years. Wiz actually gives them a unified cloud security posture. It is a structural necessity, not just a shiny vanity project.
A $32 billion defense? Oh, come on, Maya. You do not drop that kind of cash just to patch a leaky roof. You do it to change the narrative. Alphabet wants to scream to the enterprise market that they are the safest cloud provider. It is a very expensive corporate billboard.
A billboard that actually generates massive revenue, Nate. Wiz hit $100 million in annual recurring revenue faster than almost any software company in history. The underlying data proves they have the absolute best product in the space.
True, the growth is undeniable, but you have to price in the Google graveyard risk. What are the odds Wiz gets absorbed, rebranded 3 times, and then quietly sunset in 2028?
0. They are not treating this like Google Stadia. The integration language in the press release specifically keeps the Wiz leadership structure intact. They are basically handing the keys to the cloud security kingdom over to Asaf Rappaport and telling him to run it.
I will believe that autonomy lasts when I see it in year 3. But we have to zoom out for a second because this deal is not happening in a vacuum. Alphabet, Palo Alto Networks, ServiceNow. Those 3 alone just dropped $72 billion on cyber M&A this quarter.
$72 billion in 3 months. That is the number that actually made me spill my coffee today.
It is an absolute arms race. Everyone realized simultaneously that AI is making threat vectors infinitely more complicated. Building your own security infrastructure from scratch is way too slow now. You have to buy it.
Exactly. And it is setting a floor for valuations across the entire tech sector. But it is not just tech. The scale of these deals is pulling the whole global market up. Outbound US M&A just spiked 155% month over month. We hit $66 billion in February alone.
The animal spirits are definitely back in the boardroom. And speaking of spirits, my phone has been blowing up all morning about a completely different kind of deal.
Oh, I see what you did there. Very smooth transition.
The banker in me loves a good pivot. But seriously, the whiskey and cognac worlds are colliding, and Pernod Ricard is talking about a structure we almost never see anymore. Voices. So the analysts are officially taking victory laps. I'm looking at a note here claiming outbound US M&A is seeing a, quote, massive resurgence.
Massive is doing a lot of heavy lifting there.
They have the numbers to back it up, Maya. Up 155% month over month. That's $66 billion in February alone. They're predicting 2026 is the year of strategic complexity.
Okay, wait. Let's look at the actual math. 66 billion outbound. Alphabet just spent 32 billion on Wiz. That's literally half your massive resurgence in exactly one transaction.
Sure, but it's not just Alphabet. You've got Ecolab dropping $4.75 billion on CoolIT Systems. Danone buying Huel for $1 billion. The deals are happening.
Danone is French, Nate. That's inbound, not outbound.
Fine, my geography is slipping, but my point stands. The deal machine is fully cranked. Look at Zurich buying Beazly for $10.8 billion.
Again, Swiss buying British, not US outbound. Are you just reading random headlines off your terminal?
I might be, but you can't deny the animal spirits are back. Speaking of spirits, Pernod Ricard and Brown Forman?
A merger of equals in the liquor aisle.
Exactly, a French giant and the folks who make Jack Daniels. Imagine that boardroom. I'd pay good money to watch them negotiate over a whiskey.
I'm just shocked anyone is actually using the phrase merger of equals with a straight face right now. Someone always pays a premium in the end.
Tell that to Jack Nicklaus.
The golfer?
The Golden Bear himself. He just partnered with TWG Global to buy back the Nicholas companies. 50 years after he founded it. A total corporate redemption arc.
That's actually incredible. I love a good founder revenge tour.
It's the ultimate flex. But if you want to talk about ultimate flexes, we need to look at what might break tomorrow. Because an $80 billion rumor just hit my desk.
Oh, the Netflix and Warner Brothers Discovery chatter.
The very same. Spill the tea. I cannot get over Jack Nicklaus buying back his own namesake company after 50 years.
With TWG Global bankrolling him, sure. But the PR spin calling it personal corporate redemption is a bit thick. You read the filings, it is just a brand licensing play.
Let the Golden Bear have his victory lap, Maya. He is 84. But speaking of things that make me want a stiff drink, the Pernod Ricard and Brown Forman rumors are finally confirmed. Active discussions.
I saw that. And they are already floating the phrase merger of equals.
The classic banker euphemism for nobody wants to admit they are getting bought.
Exactly. Because it is never actually equal. Pernod is bigger by market cap. They have Jameson and Absolute. Brown Forman has Jack Daniels. You do not just smash those portfolios together and call it a tie. Whoever gets the CEO seat is the acquirer.
I'm actually going to push back on that. Brown Forman is heavily family controlled. The Brown family holds the voting shares. Pernod has the Ricard family. When you have two massive entrenched family dynasties, you absolutely have to structure it as a true MOE. Otherwise, the bruised egos kill the deal before it even hits a term sheet.
Egos will kill this deal anyway. You really think the French corporate establishment and a Kentucky whiskey dynasty are going to agree on operating synergies? Good luck blending that culture.
I mean, the holiday parties would be legendary, just a literal river of bourbon and cognac.
Right up until somebody asks who is paying for the ice. I will believe it when I see the proxy statement.
You are so cynical today. But if you think a cross-border liquor merger is messy, wait until you hear what is brewing in Hollywood.
Oh, the $80 billion streaming gorilla in the room.
Netflix circling Warner Brothers Discovery? I have some very strong opinions on David Zaslav's potential exit strategy, but we should probably run the antitrust math on that first. Tomorrow's radar.
I'm setting my alarm early tomorrow, specifically for this Netflix and Warner Bros. Rumor. $80 billion.
It makes total sense. Netflix wants the catalog. Warner needs a lifeline. You know, every media banker in New York is canceling their weekend plans right now.
Oh, come on. $80 billion? For a linear TV portfolio wrapped in debt? I need to see the math on that because I am not buying that premium.
You're paying for the HBO crown jewels, but fine. If you hate media deals, watch the healthcare tape. We should see formal filings tomorrow on Boston Scientific's $14.5 billion play for Penumbra.
Now that is a deal I actually believe. Real synergies, not just streaming vibes. Speaking of vibes, did you catch Danone buying Huel for $1 billion?
$1 billion for tech bro sludge? Absolutely incredible.
Hey, liquid meals are high margin. We are out of time today, but we'll see tomorrow if Netflix actually writes that $80 billion check.